Hey everyone, what's up? My name's Shane, and today I'll be showing you how to make chicken souvlaki with pita bread. So first thing, we're going to prepare this chicken into cubes. For marinade, I'm going to be adding 8 tablespoons of olive oil, 8 tablespoons of red wine vinegar, a tablespoon of dried oregano, a teaspoon of kosher salt, a teaspoon of black pepper, and grated garlic cloves. Break garlic down. Nice garlic cloves. Just give it a good whack. Get them all out of there. Oh, we got a lot of little baby garlic cloves, it looks like. So papery. So Allicin is a 2-part epoxy formed inside of garlic cloves whenever you smash them. Allicin is a superpower of flavor. So because these cloves are so small, I grabbed about 10 of them. I'm assuming that equates to about maybe 5 or 6 normal sized cloves. It saves a lot of time from having to try to peel it, and also has the added benefit of releasing all the allicin. So those will sit and begin to develop allicin after we smash them. So we're going to add about 10 tablespoons of lemon juice here to 5 pounds or so of chicken. If you're doing half this, you do 5 tablespoons. Eight tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Eight tablespoons or half a cup of red wine vinegar. A little less than half a cup because I think that's a lot. 2 tablespoons of dried oregano. So you can see I'm not being extremely precise. I'll add 4 teaspoons of kosher salt. Okay, so because I'm lazy and don't feel like grating all this garlic, I'm going to use my garlic smasher instead. Alright, we'll mix that all up and let that marinate in the fridge for a couple hours. So much chicken. So now we're getting set up for our pita bread. Got a bowl of a cup of water here. When you're working with dough, it's best to use weights for all of your ratios to ensure consistency, because different dough flour can have different density. So you want to use weights, and it also helps scaling recipes as well. So we want 280 grams of all-purpose flour. We want 70 grams of whole wheat flour. And first, to the water, we're going to add a tablespoon of sugar, a little over 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast, we'll go and give that a stir with our finger. Dissolve the sugar and give the yeast something to eat. You want to make sure it's alive, because yeast is a living creature and it could be dead, and if it is not alive, then it won't create bubbles. If it doesn't foam up and create bubbles within 10 minutes, then you probably have a bad batch of yeast. I'm just going to go ahead and move on to adding the flour. We need a tablespoon of extra virgin olive oil. Making bread. We got a sourdough project going on over there. y'all are interested. We got the sourdough starter back here. Gonna hopefully make 2 delicious loaves of sourdough. Our dough has been formed into a rough ball. We're gonna oil up our mixing bowl, a little bit of olive oil, and transfer the dough inside. Pour just a little bit of olive oil on top. This is gonna keep the dough from drying out during its 1 hour rise. It's okay if you don't have it perfectly formed at this point because we're gonna shape this into 6 even balls later on, which will be rolled out into our pita. Now we'll cover that and let it rise for about an hour.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be making some tzatziki sauce to go over chicken souvlaki.
There's no welcoming back because you've been watching this whole time. We're going to make the tzatziki sauce to go with our chicken souvlaki. At least it's a sauce that is with Greek food often, called, in this empty bowl, tzatziki sauce. It's basically Greek yogurt. This is where the Greek yogurt really shines in a Greek recipe, mixed with cucumber, garlic, dill, salt, some pepper if you'd like it. So I'm going to peel the cucumber. So we're going to chop this up and then sort of do that almost pickling process or salting next. Throw in some salt. Next, we're going to add a small garlic clove to a bowl, grating it. Kind of smashed it a little too hard, so it's being a little difficult to grate. Shirley, how many times have I destroyed my fingers with this thing?
More than we can count.
Going for number 2, baby. That's what I like. Measure out 2/4 cups. Whoa, got a little bit on me there. That's that. Don't skip out on the fresh dill. Seriously, fresh dill is where it's at when it comes to tzatziki sauce. It is not tzatziki sauce if you don't have the fresh dill. Tablespoon. I'll just sprinkle that in there like so. Once these are done sitting for half an hour, and dab them off with a paper towel to soak up any extra moisture that's sitting on top of them, and then add that to our Greek yogurt mixture, and then we'll have tzatziki sauce, y'all. Good stuff. The marinade, I was supposed to reserve about half of it to dress the salad, but instead I marinated my chicken in all the dressing, which makes total sense because I thought, wow, this sure looks like a lot of marinade for such a little bit of chicken. I don't think the chicken really needs to be submerged in all this marinade, but who am I to argue with the recipe? Except I read the recipe wrong. Two teaspoons of kosher salt. Smashed garlic cloves. taste, as always. Taste your dressings. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so now we are ready to prepare our pita into discs for cooking in the oven. So I've got an oven preheated to 550 degrees Fahrenheit. I have on the top rack, or close to the top, I've got a 12-inch cast iron skillet. And we're going to be cooking these pita breads one at a time in the cast iron skillet in here. We're back. So we got our pita. It's been proofing for about probably almost an hour at this point. You only have to proof it for about a half hour, but I ran out of time, or my oven was occupied with other things that were more pressing. So looks like it's fine, except this guy got a little bit, deformed, but such is life. Sometimes we get a little deformed, So we're just gonna pop these in our preheated oven, which has been preheated to 550 degrees with a cast iron at the top. Bring our oven open, and one at a time we're going to cook these pita for about 3 minutes. We'll check it after 3 minutes. If it looks like it needs a little bit more time, then we'll let it have a little bit more time. But basically we just want to look out for burning on the bottom. So you don't want to overcook them. Oh, and that failed. Well, let's just see how that comes out. Whoopsie. Looks good. Yeah. Just let that cool right there. Get a little bit of flavor of the chicken on it. Got a light crisp to it. So we got some skewers that we've pre-soaked in water for about a half hour now. We're just gonna load up the chicken. You can see it's turned a little white already because it's kind of got a little pre-cooked by all the acid in this marinade. We're gonna light up these skewers on a baking sheet with a rack on them, and we're gonna throw them in the broiler for probably about 5 minutes, and then flip them, and then go for another 5 minutes. For the skewers, you don't want to put everything right on top of each other with the chicken. You want to give it a little bit of space, maybe a half inch to a quarter inch in between each piece. Probably about a finger's width in between each piece of chicken. Just make sure that they have plenty of circulation around them and they get evenly cooked. And in the broiler, I'm just going to look out for nice even charring on the outside, but not burning. You just want some charred bits on the chicken to add a little bit of flavor, but we don't want to overcook it or burn the chicken, so I'm going to keep an eye on it. So we have our faux grilled chicken, broiled instead of grilled. Okay.